Okay, so here we are with question 5, and this is going to start out exactly the same way. We know that 48 feet of the red plus 16 feet of the green needs to equal the 64 feet of total ribbon she uses. And yes, 48 plus 16 equals 64. So we're going to have our two ratios. We're going to have red to the total, which is 48 to 64. We're going to have green to the total, which is 16 to 64. We're going to just add those together. Really what we're adding is the 48 and the 16, okay? So yes, we do have those denominators, but really we're adding the 48 and the 16, and they equal 64, and this equals 64, and there is our big 1, and this, let's get rid of that extra equal sign. Now let's simplify. Now you might see that 8 goes into both of those right away. You might see that 16 goes into both of those right away. Let's say you don't. You can always simplify in parts. 48 and 64. Man, I know those are both, I can divide both those by 2. Divide that by 2, I get 24. Divide that by 2, I get 32. And now you might say, oh, you know what? 12 can go into that. Well, 12 can't go into that. So let me divide them both by 4, because 4 can go into that 6 times, and 4 can go into that 8 times. And, oh, I can divide that by 2, 3 times, and 4 times. Over here, now you see this 4, and you ask yourself, well, what's 16 divided by 4? Well, that's 4. What's 64 divided by 4? That one doesn't seem to come as easily, so let me get rid of it. How about 16 divided by 8? Oh, 16 divided by 8, that's a 2. 64 divided by 8, that's an 8. Oh, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times. And now I've got the same denominator, and as you've seen with these problems, that's what you're looking for. Same denominator, and yes, if I add these together, I get a big 1. So when you're doing your simplifying, if you see in one step, the one step in this problem happened to be 16. 16 goes into 48, 64, and it goes into itself. But if you don't see it, it's okay to simplify in steps. So the first question, small store next door liked Lindsay's work so well they wanted their windows decorated also. If the new windows take 24 feet for the same pattern, how much red ribbon will Lindsay use? So Lindsay, we're now looking at the red to total ratio, and our simplified red to total is 3 to 4, and we need to know how much red for 24. You can cross multiply. I'm going to go straight to doing it with the big 1. 3 to 4 equals x to 24. 6 times 4 equals 24, so 6 times 3 equals 18. 6 to 6. 6 over 6 is my big 1. And I know that I need 18 feet of red. How much green will I need? Well, we're using 24 feet total. If I take away the 18 feet of red, I need 6 feet of green. So it'll take us a total of 6 feet of the green. And I can check that. Let me put my answer up here, 6 feet. And I can check that by going back to the ratios because green to total was 1 to 4, x to 24, and when I use my big 1, that big 1 does not change. It's still going to be a 6 to 6. 6 times 1 is equal to 6. So whether I get that 6 by doing the total minus the red, or I get it by using the ratio, I've got 6 there. So my answers on this problem are 18 feet of red and 6 feet of green. Okay, there's one more video coming up, and that is the lemonade.